Hi, cozy friends. Welcome to finally a 2024 wrap up, 2024 favorites. Plus, this time we're splitting it with games I'm excited for in 2025. Now, you might say, pray tell, why has this taken until February? I could say that I spent all this time really like doing some hand wringing and really just like contemplating what were my favorite cozy games of last year and really just thinking about it. But I actually spent all year doing that, and it was really just, I wasn't ready to admit that the year was over. I was not ready to admit 2024 had passed us by, had whizzed by in a second, and it's already the second month of 2025. I don't think I've accepted it yet completely at all. That's why it's taken a little bit of time, okay? It was an interesting year. I feel like there weren't that many like groundbreaking games that came out in 2024. There were a lot of solid ones. There weren't like breaking the charts, breaking the records, breaking expectations. There wasn't any of those really, but there were a lot of really just solid ones. And also a lot of good PC releases as opposed to like Switch exclusives or just like also on Switch, like a lot of just PC. So there's that. And then 2025, there's so many I'm excited for, you guys. There's so many I'm excited for. Okay, that's enough, but let's just jump right into my favorites from 2024. This is going to be across all platforms. Let's go. All right, y'all, let's jump in. This list isn't in any order, by the way. It's just kind of random as I've listed them on my list. Starting off with one that for me kind of came out of nowhere. Like I just hadn't heard a lot about it beforehand. And then all of a sudden it was like, there was a demo, it was out. It was also quick. And that's Botany Manor. I think this game is so charming. I love so much about this game. It's a street management, like town management game, but it's really scaled down to just one street, one lane, if you will, the Botany Lane. It's not a whole town simulator, which for me, sometimes those can feel overwhelming. Something like Fabledom, which released on PC a while ago, but released on Switch this year. I like Fabledom. I don't think I would put it as an absolute favorite because of the scale of it. If you like the scale of large town management games, that's great. That's good. But Botany Lane is for those of us that want that squished down into like a small, tiny experience. I feel like it's everything that I love about cozy games. Like it hits to the core for me of what a cozy game is. It's beautiful to look at. It's so cute to look at. They nailed the colors on this one, the color scheme, the aesthetic. They give you an option to do like a story mode where you start with very minimal things on your lane and then you build it up through time and through days and strategic decisions. But the stakes are not that high. And that's the thing about cozy games, right? The stakes are never too high where you're like actually genuinely stressed about it and you're like, people are going to die on this lane if I don't do this. No, everything's fine. You just, might not have the most efficient, high-functioning lane ever. You add things to your street like bookshops, like a ramen shop, like a boba shop. I just feel like they get us cozy gamers so well. Like the things that we want to focus on are like cute foods, books, like our cozy hobbies. You get to customize the styles of the buildings, whether it's like people's houses, community buildings, whether it's the shops, you get to customize. So it's bringing all of these elements of a cozy game in. It's bringing decoration, it's bringing customization, it's bringing like food and cozy vibes. It's bringing management, a little bit of strategy, but then they have a chill mode too. Like they have a free play mode where you're not trying to like do the best ever and you're not trying to hit certain like incentives. Now, the thing with this is it is short. It's very short. It's quick. Like you could finish this game in one sitting. It's short. It's sweet, but I love it. I feel like it's also priced appropriately for how short it is, but just how much is packed in. If you're a person who likes management and who likes more idle games, and by idle, I mean like you're kind of sitting there and then you're tapping and then you're tapping, and it's not like the most intense, you have to be paying attention, the most dynamic, the most focused game. I think you'll like this. I don't think you'll like this if you want a really long management gameplay. If you want to see like a super long timeline in your management, something similar to like the 2-Point Hospital, 2-Point Museum, 2-Point Campus, like those types of management games, you're seeing a super long timeline. Something like Fabledom, lots of payoff, lots of investment. This is short and sweet. And I want to see more of this art style. I love this art style. So cute. I want to see more of the like 2D cartoonish with like pastel muted colors. I love it. I feel like it's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. Next on the list for 2024 is Botany Manor. This was a game I talked about so much leading up to Echo's release, like the whole year, even I think a year before that, whenever we first heard about Botany Manor, I was like, please, 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 this is my dream game. I wouldn't say it like surpassed my expectations. I think it perfectly met my expectations. I had such high hopes for it, and it met those, you know? It wasn't like, oh my God, it was even better. It was perfect game. No, but like phenomenal game. Loved it. What is Botany Manor? Botany Manor is a adventure narrative puzzle game centered around plants and botanical things. So you're coming across information as you're exploring this English cottage, and that information can come in the form of like a little scrap of paper or a book you find. You're finding little doodads and things around that give you a clue, and then you come across a seed that you need to plant and you need to grow, and those clues you collected come together to tell you how to grow this plant. So for example, one of them's like you need a certain combination of things to create a certain environment that then the plant grows. And that's kind of how all of them progress. They like get progressively more complicated and more intense, and you have to think about it a little bit more. I think that's so fun, and the setting is so fun. Something about walking around an English countryside manor is like, that's everything I've wanted. It's like what I liked about Tomb Raider when I was a kid, like running around that little mansion where the butler follows you, like just a nice manor to explore is all I've ever wanted. Botany Manor is that plus puzzles. Now, I will say you do have to like puzzles. You do have to like thinking through things and deducing and then like finding a scrap here and coming back and getting in and running back here and then going over there. You have to kind of like that element. And if that either grates on you or if that's not cozy to you, you might not like this, because I think sometimes puzzles for me can take me out of like a cozy element. I have to be in like a puzzle solving mood. And then I'm like, all right, let's lock in. I'm ready to like do some puzzles. You have to be in the mood for it, or you have to just be like a puzzle person where like puzzles are your bread and butter. You're like, yes, I feel so cozy doing this. If you're seeing English Countryside Manor and you're like, sign me up, no, the puzzles are a huge, huge, huge part of this game. But if you love that, then you will love this. Plus there's the added narrative element where like you're learning about the people living in the house and like the stories and the drama, and there's like a mystery. It's very interesting on top of the puzzle. So it's not just like one note puzzles, like kind of escape room vibes. It's also adding in a little narrative. Phenomenal. I will say people have noted that they get motion sick a lot with this, and I noticed that when I was playing on the TV. So I had to play like either on my PC or on handheld. Playing on like a really big screen, I did feel the motion sickness. I had to turn that sensitivity way down to be able to not be like, ugh. So that's just something to know. If you get like super motion sick, then maybe test it out by watching some gameplay of it. But yeah, Botany Manor, beautiful, beautiful game with just such a unique premise, like plant-based puzzles. I love it. It's like exploration version of Strange Horticulture. Next is Echoes of Wisdom. I never thought I would be putting like a classic Zelda style game in a game roundup. I am a Zelda convert because of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which are completely different games from the rest of the Zelda franchise. I love the open world exploration of Zelda. I don't know. All the rest of the classic style of the game didn't totally appeal to me. Liking Echoes of Wisdom as much as I did was a shock to me. Stuff goes down in Hyrule as it always does, right? Things are wrong in Hyrule. You've got to save us. But this time, instead of playing as Link, you're playing as Princess Zelda, because they think that you had something to do with the issues going on in Hyrule. You're like, no, I didn't have anything to do with it. And then you're going around with an ability you have where you can make a copy of an object that you come across. Not every single object that you come across, but a lot of objects that you come across and enemies that you come across. So you can make a copy of a bed. You can make a copy of like a little glob that's trying to attack you. And all of the enemies have different abilities. So when you make a copy of it, you can use that ability on that same enemy. You can use that ability on another enemy. You can use that enemy to like get places. There's like a spider you can echo, and then you can use it to like move up the... There's so much puzzling through things and like using unique methods to get through a certain situation to defeat a certain enemy. It's just so interesting, and I think that's why I like the idea of this and liked playing through this more than I would any other classic Zelda. And I don't know, because I haven't tried it, and that's on me. I need to try the other Zelda games. I'm sure I would like them. It's the mechanic of you have all of these tools at your disposal and do with them what you will to get from point A to point B. We're not going to constrain you. Do what you will. I love that about Breath of the Wild. I love that about Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom kicks that up a notch. They're like, oh, you thought you had freedom to do what you wanted? But just wait. Echoes of Wisdom is like taking a little page out of that book and applying it to like classic Zelda style. And it's so cool. It's just so cool. I think I don't get sucked into this nearly as much as some of the other cozy games on this list, but I played the crap out of this game. I wasn't like, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed with like coziness and I want it. Like I'm rushing to get back to it. I was just like thoroughly enjoying myself as I was playing through it, but so much so that it's on this list. So not everything made this list. Echoes of Wisdom, you stole my heart, kid. You will like this if you like games that are like, okay, little level, I'm getting through, little boss, next. Level I'm getting through, little boss, next. That's kind of the structure of the game. It has all the classic Zelda elements. So if you don't like, you know, having to defeat an enemy every 2 seconds of you like walking around, you might not like this. Like it's not the open world exploration that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have. And you're not like getting moments of reprieve where you can kind of like wander and explore and da-da-da. Like, you know, you're on a kind of set path for the most part to get to an end goal, like end game. And you're going to come across a lot of like enemies to get there. So is it super fun to like puzzle through how to get there? Yes. But you still are like, there's still a lot of enemies to get through. Just something to note there. And getting to play as Zelda for my first time playing as Zelda. Yeah, let's bring her back. Let's keep it going. Let's put her in an open world. An open world Zelda, please. We're begging. We're on our knees. Nintendo, please. Open world game like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but with Zelda. Thank you. And more dress up, more girly stuff. Think Infinity Nikki, no microtransactions. Breath of the Wild, Echoes of Wisdom Moon, just with the fact that you're playing as Zelda. Mash them together. That's what I want. That'd be so fun. Thank you. Horses, please. Okay, next is Coffee Shop Caravan. Here's the thing about me. I love a food game. All right, this is coming from a girl who grew up on Cooking Mama. I mean, my middle school era was Cooking Mama. I grew up on a lot of other things, but Cooking Mama came after. Cooking Mama was such an integral part of my cozy gamer origin story that any cooking game just has a place in my heart. Even if it's like Diner Dash style and it's not like you're cooking the food, it has a special place in my heart. So Coffee Shop Caravan, I wishlist probably every single cozy game that is ever announced on my Steam. This was a random pluck from that wish list. And I was like, I don't know, looks cute. I'll give it a try. I want something kind of brain off. Oh my God, you guys, if you like Diner Dash style games, and by that I mean you're serving food to customers and it's quick and it's timed and you're getting the hang of like this here, serve, this here, serve, new recipe, this here, up here, clean dish, serve. That's what I mean by like Diner Dash style. If you love that, you will love this game. It's so cute, you guys. It's so cute. It's PC only right now. I really hope they bring it to Switch, but it's so cute. Again, like really bringing in like every aspect of cozy gaming that just tickles my brain the right way. It's the aesthetics of it all mixed with the freedom of gameplay because they have the story mode, but then they also have a free play mode, a like casual mode. So it's the lowering of the stakes, it's the aesthetics of it, and then it's the cozy subject. Hello, I have a little cat here. She said, I'm cozy too. What about me? And then it's the cozy subject, which is a coffee shop. You're running a coffee shop. Like just, it's the trifecta that really gets me. I think it's so well balanced in terms of the progression through the story. I love that there's so much to unlock. So you're starting with just coffee, then you unlock more like latte type things, and then you eventually unlock like teas and bobas, and then there's food. There's so much to unlock that you don't get bored, but then also there's so much replayability with each aisle that you're in. Even when you're in just the coffee aisle, there's so much replayability because you're moving on this tree. So you finish one level and then you can move on the tree, this option or this option. You have an option. And when you pick this option, you have a whole tree this way. So you're getting certain like abilities or certain like buffs or certain handicaps or certain whatever. And each time you play, you can take a slightly different tree and have a completely different experience. It's so interesting. It's so unique. I love that. It's just so cute. Like the chibi art style is so cute. And I also love that you can change in the settings, the pacing. So you can make it chill. You can turn certain things off that maybe you don't like about it, that like stresses you out more. And then you can just do the like completely chill, not timed free play. And that's so I love when they give you the option, because sometimes I really just want to turn my brain off and I just want to serve some food in a cute setting. This is that to a T. If you like Diner Dash type games, you will like this one. And we're talking about another Diner Dash style game in the games I'm excited for 2025. And when I tell you, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, next is Rusty's Retirement. This is also a PC only. The PC releases had their time in 2024, and I gotta give them their credit. Okay, I know a lot of us cozy gamers are Switch people, but one, we can hope that they eventually come out on Switch, and two, I don't know, it just wasn't the year for Switch releases. Rusty's Retirement is a idle farming sim, so it's not as active as like Stardew Valley, something like that, where it's like there's days you're trying to do as much as you can in that day. Rusty's Retirement sits on the bottom of your desktop screen and it's idle, so just as you're going throughout the day, you can come check on it and be like, okay, I'm gonna add this, I see that this is done, I'm gonna harvest this crop. I think it's done so well, and like the progression is really rewarding but not too hard, and also not too easy. So you can kind of pace yourself. You're not flying through it, but it's also not so difficult where you're like, I have to wait so long. Like, it doesn't feel like you're being punished because it's an idle game, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there's some mobile games where it feels like that. You're like, oh my God, I'm being punished because you want me to pay for this microtransaction to speed up time. And that's not what this feels like. It just feels like, nice. I'll check in. Whenever I'm checking in after my task, I'm going to do my little things. I'm going to water my plants. I'm going to set up some automations. I'm going to plant some new ones. I'm going to harvest. And then, okay, I'm going to go do my work and And by the time you come back, something's done. Something can be worked on. And there's like little decor you could do. There's upgrades. There's interesting upgrades too. Like, it's not just sprinklers and whatever. There's like drones. Very topical, but there's like drones you can add. Like, there's recycling and regenerative. It's very fun and unique. And the fact that it sits on the bottom of your desktop is so fun to me. I just think it's such a smart idea. Like, it's like a virtual pet, but it's a whole farm. I love Rusty's Retirement. And the whole point of the game is to retire Rusty, who's been running this farm forever. And you retire him and he gets to sit on his chair. The whole point is that he gets to sit on his chair. If he's ever up from his chair, you need to work on your farm. You know what I mean? Like, Rusty should not be getting up from his little chair. Next is a Apple Arcade game, which I know not everybody has Apple Arcade, and listen, Hello Kitty Island Adventure came out in 2025. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it in this 2025 games. Hello Kitty Island Adventure was on Apple Arcade. It was in my roundup last year because I was trying to tell everybody Apple Arcade is worth it for Hello Kitty Island Adventure alone. I was trying to tell the people. I hope many of you listened to me and tried it and are now like, yep, I've been playing this game for years, for a year now that everyone's talking about it because it's on Switch. It just released on Switch and now everybody's like, this is the best game ever. And I'm like, thank you. You could have had it for a year on Apple Arcade. I'm saying the same thing about Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom right now. It's a little bit different because it feels a little bit more like a daily game. So it's a town builder, much like Hello Kitty, where you're, bringing people back onto the island and with Hello Kitty. With Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom, you're kind of restoring parts of the town from a meteor crash that happens. You're like restoring parts of the town, and then you're doing a lot of like fetch quests and things like that. But the thing about Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom is very, very daily. Like, they want you to play daily and not forever. They don't want you to play forever. Like, it reminds me of Cozy Grove in that way, where like technically you could keep fishing, technically you could keep picking things up as they appear, but like that gets old, and really truly there's only so many quests you can do each day. But I think that's a plus. I think that's a plus here. And that's why it's on my list. My wrap up for 2024 is that I came to love that aspect of it. I did a demo of this game, and in the demo, I was like, okay, I can tell it's a daily game, and I don't really know if I like that because I don't really come back to games daily. I like to just have a burst. I like to have a binge, and then I like to leave and whatever. But I like it. I liked it. I like it. It just works. It's the nostalgia of Tamagotchi. Like, it's all the Tamagotchis you know and love, and then some new ones. And the dialogue is hilarious. The dialogue like genuinely made me crack up out loud a couple times because I just like wasn't expecting the cheekiness of it all. Like, I was expecting it to be more kiddish, and I feel like I felt the same about Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I was like, I'm expecting this to be so kiddish. Hello Kitty has some zingers in there. Hello Kitty Island Adventure has some zingers. So does Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom. Just like the storyline's charming too. And so you're kind of invested in that. It does feel like a slower progression than Hello Kitty because it's very much a daily locked game. Like there's truly only so much you can do. In Hello Kitty, you can kind of like grind friendship. You can kind of grind things if you want and like get things a little quicker. You can't really do that in Tamagotchi. You really just have to like progress through compound investment in each day. There is decorating. So you can decorate your camp and you can decorate your little house. You can't decorate like the general town, but you can decorate like those specific areas. So there's decorating, and then there's like clothes, and you can pick certain companions. You have like a set of 5 or so Tamagotchi companions that have different abilities, and you can pick them to come with you throughout on your journeys throughout the day. You have this cute little car too. It's really cute. And the map is huge. The map is massive. Huge map. Every time I unlocked a new space, I was like, there can't possibly be more. There can't possibly be more. There was more. It's just such a good, vast game that is so brain off. It's such a good, like, I'm pulling this up. I've got my audiobook in. I've got a show on, and I'm just tippy tapping. It's not so idle that you're bored by it. It's just like brain off, man. Like you're going around collecting apples and then coming and finding someone's hat that's lost somewhere and crafting things for people. So simple and so good. I really hope that it comes to Switch eventually. I feel like the trajectory of Hello Kitty to Switch, which I never thought would happen, I'm hopeful that the same will happen in Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom. We'll talk about Hello Kitty price later. I don't think if Tamagotchi were the same price as Hello Kitty that it would be worth it. I think it would need to be a little cheaper, and that's just a separate topic. But Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom, Apple Arcade, it is like $4.99 a month or $5.99 a month. There's so many full games that to me it feels worth it. And just having access to like Hello Kitty if you don't have a Switch, Tamagotchi, to me is worth it. But I'm a gamer, and you know that like I'm willing to spend that on gaming versus like a show subscription. Like next is something I never thought I would say. I know I said that about Echoes of Wisdom, but I truly never thought I would say I have a PlayStation exclusive on my list. I feel like I constantly get comments that are like, can you put an Xbox list together? Can you put a PlayStation list together? And I never do because I don't really touch those consoles that often. And if I do, I'm not playing cozy games. But this one, debatable to you if you consider this a cozy game, debatable to many people if you consider this a cozy game. I do. I think it's quintessential like energy of a cozy game, and that's Astrobot. It also won Game of the Year. So I feel so vindicated. When I was creating this list and then I watched the Game Awards, I said, hell yeah, brother. I feel so vindicated because it's just so charming. Like this game is what I feel like gaming is all about. It's like fun, unserious, silly, exploratory, boppy and bippy and jumpy. This is what gaming's all about, man. This is what gaming's all about. You know, we do the shooty shoots and we do the decorating games, but like this, it reminds me of like old school Mario games. It's like classic gaming, modern gaming brought together. What is it? I think it's like PlayStation's take on Mario Odyssey, but with a classic character, Astrobot. I actually wasn't familiar with Astrobot before this game came out. Like I didn't know that it was a game that had come out on PlayStation before. Didn't know that. But now I do because this game is so cute. You're a little robot, Astrobot, and you're trying to like collect all of your Astrobot friends that have been stranded on little planets around the universe. And so you're driving around in your little spaceship, and then you're landing on a planet and you're trying to rescue all of your little Astrobot friends. So you're collecting all of these like Astrobots that have different themes to them, and they're so cute. Like all the little themes are so cute, and sometimes they're like characters you recognize. Adorable. I love that collection aspect. So it's like there's a completionist aspect to it where you're trying to collect all of them, but also they're so cute, and so you have this like emotional attachment to them, and you're like, oh my god, I need to collect my little babies, my Shayla. There's also a platforming aspect to it, so you're platforming up to some places, you're platforming around places and trying to like hippity hop 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 hop, but then also it's kind of exploratory. You're exploring certain worlds and just like finding little hidden pieces. It reminds me also of Luigi's Mansion. So if you like Luigi's Mansion and Mario Odyssey, you'll like this. Like there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it in my mind. It has that same collection aspect to it. It has that same exploring different worlds. It's so beautiful. The sound design's so good. The little like blips and bloops and bleeps. It's just so stinking cute. Can it get a little difficult at times? Sure. Sometimes you're like trying to run away from this huge monkey that messes you up, and sometimes you have to like redo something over and over. But again, it's like what gaming is all about to me. Like that's the kind of gaming I don't mind being difficult because it's just like classic. Classic. And I love that. So Astrobot, you had my heart. A PlayStation exclusive. I never thought I would say it on my list. All right. Next is Tiny Glade, which is a sandbox builder game. A beautiful sandbox game. So you're just creating buildings and mountains and putting windows on and spires and all kinds of things and like a cute cottagey surrounding, and there's seasons and it's just adorable. There's little sheep that if you put a hill under them, if you pull up a hill under them, the sheep hop up and then they fly down in a little umbrella. It's so charming. I will say you have to like sandbox games. You have to like sandbox games. Like this is something that could get boring real quick. If you don't like sandbox games, if you don't like locking in and spending hours decorating a like Sims build, for example, if you are not a builder in the Sims, maybe this might not be for you. This might not be for you. If you're looking for like direction, if you're looking for challenge, if you're looking for narrative, you're not going to find it in Tiny Glade. What you are going to find is a completely open world for you to just play in making buildings and scapes. I think you really have to appreciate like architecture and the vibes of a space and curating those vibes and spending like lots of time on little intricate details. If you're not somebody who gets lost in the little intricate details, you're gonna like pull up one building, pull up the other side of the building and be like, okay, I'm done. I finished the game. But I really enjoyed it. I am not typically a sandbox person, but I just thought this game was so beautiful that it couldn't not be on this list. Like it's just so well done, so beautiful. The flexibility in the ways that you can like customize the space. It's like Sims Wishes, right? And I love The Sims, but Sims Wishes, it had that kind of flexibility. It's a marvel. It's a game developing marvel. Y'all did that. It's a feat. And yeah. Beautiful, 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 beautiful game. Another quick one, short and sweet, is Sticky Business. This one actually is out on Switch too. Finally, a Switch one. Switch as well, not Switch 2, because now we have Switch 2 to look forward to in 2025. Woo! Sticky Business, you are running a sticker shop, like an online sticker shop where you're creating the sticker designs that you're selling, you're packaging them, you're like interacting with customers. Adorable. Again, short and sweet. Hard to go wrong if you like a little management, like I'm role playing a job that I've always thought would be cute. Yeah, adorable, adorable. And my last two are farming sims. Okay, farming sims that are only available on PC right now. Hopefully that will change. The first is Fields of Mystria. I loved. It's rare for me to play one cozy demo. I did a cozy demo of this. It's rare for me to play one cozy demo of a farming sim and be like, sign me up for everything happening here. And that's what happened with Fields of Mystery, because it was like they took everything that we all love about Stardew Valley and then they just kept all of the good things. They kept the good things about it, because I feel like a lot of farming sims take what we love about Stardew Valley and the classics, Harvest Moon, all that, and then they're like, what if we did something a little bit different and we changed this and this, and now it's like the core of what makes a farming sim good is gone. It's gone. It's heartless. It's soulless. But this one, they kept everything good and they improved everything else. They improved it. They expanded upon it. The whole like spirit lion statues, storyline, progression system, phenomenal, amazing. The characters are so interesting and three-dimensional and dynamic and funny, and the town just feels alive in a way that like Stardew Valley Town feels alive. I love it. That's why I love it so much. It feels alive. This one somehow like kicks it up a notch. Like they have, I think every Friday they meet in this inn type thing and they all are having conversations with each other. So you're seeing dynamics with each other. Oh, and then the animals are so cute. They did a great job at, here's what you like about farming sims. I got you. I'm not changing that. Exactly the same to a T, but we're throwing in quality of life upgrades, storyline upgrades, some new features you didn't even think about, and putting it all in this cute little package. Adorable. The aesthetics of this game, I cannot emphasize enough. Adorable. Also, all the characters, beautiful, beautiful characters. And that's always a plus. The last of my 2024 favorites is Luma Island. Oh my gosh, Luma Island blew me away. Blew me away. I had a couple people saying, have you tried Luma Island? Please play Luma Island. And I was like, what is this game? I haven't heard anything about this. Downloaded it to play for cozy demo and was like, what? Why is no one talking? Why I'm not seeing, people should be yelling from the rooftops about this. It's a farming sim. again, keeping all of the things that we love about a farming sim and adding so much more. Like this one, Luma Island, unlike Fields of Mystery really feels like a farming sim, like classic farming sim. Luma Island feels a little bit like a third of a farming sim, a third of like resource collecting, and then a third of profession progression. It feels balanced in a way where it doesn't just feel like everything's resting on it being a really, really solid farming sim, a farming sim that outshines them all. The farming is great. It's fine. It's cool. But there's so much more to it that makes it so much fun. And it's multiplayer up to 4 people, co-op up to 4 people. You know how hard it is to find a good farming sim that's co-op? It's hard. It's difficult. They're not rampant. It's like Stardew, and then it's up to 4 people. I have yet to play this co-op, and I'm itching to. I'm dying to. It's going to happen this year. But until then, here's the main thing I like about Luma Island. Well, okay. The 2 things I love about Luma Island that I feel like sets it apart. The art design of it all. It has this like blocky, like if Minecraft added a bit, added 2 bits. It's like blocky, but in the cutest, coziest way. And they do the lighting so well. So as the day dims and the lights come on, it's like you're there. It's like these beautiful glowy lights where there's so many like fairy lights and lampposts, and it just feels safe and inviting and warm and cozy. And then the town itself is like this little town on a hill where there's all these cobblestone buildings and stone walkways and arches and awnings, and it's so charming. I think it's like one of the cutest farming sim designs I've ever seen. So there's that I really love about it. It's just like, I just want to be in the setting, which is obviously going to put it on the list for me. And then the second thing is the professions. I think that the professions is so cool. It's such a cute, unique feature. Like you can pick between like jewelry maker, a brewer, a treasure hunter. There's so many different professions you can choose from, and you can like progress it all the way till the end. And then you can come back and change your profession and progress that one all the way to the end and come back and change like there's so much to explore in that regard. And I think that's just so cool. And then there's also these like Tomb Raider caves. You have a whip. I mean, that's I should have led with that. I'm sorry. I should have led with the whip. I feel like this would have been much shorter. Okay. You have a whip and you get to go through caves and whip things, and it's very cool. So that's Luma Island. I think you'll like this if you're looking for a farming sim that like adds a little bit of it adds some other touches. It adds some gameplay that isn't just farming. Also, the characters are cute. They're like cute and funny. That is all of the games that I loved in 2024. I played more. I liked them. I liked a lot of games. If you're like, what about this game? What about this game? I liked them. But were they my absolute favorites of 2024? No. Were these? Yeah. These were my absolute favorites in no order. And now I want to talk about the games I'm excited for 2025. The games I'm most excited for 2025. And I'm starting from like January. So some of these might have already come out. Also, in no particular order. Also, I'm going to rapid fire through these because I don't know too much about it. I'm not going to yap too much about it because I don't know. I'm just going to tell you I'm excited for it. Okay? Keep it on your radar because it's on mine. Number 1 is Wander Stop. Wander Stop is a tea house cozy game. It's narrative based, so the narrative is central to this, but you are like growing your tea materials and then using them for your recipes and serving them at your shop. I'm excited to see if this is a game that actually hooks me because I think the premise is unique. I think the idea of a tea shop is so cute. I'm curious though if this is going to be more based on like growing the stuff. I don't know. I hope it's well balanced. I'm excited for the idea of a tea shop cozy game. I hope it's well balanced. I hope it's like there's a little bit of growing, but then you're also like learning about people and you're like invested in people and their stories, and then you're making the tea, and then maybe, I don't know, I wonder if there's decorating. Very curious about the balancing of mechanics in this game, but excited for tea shop premise nonetheless. Like that's so exciting. How much cozier can you get? Tea shop. Come on. Next is Hello Kitty. I should have started with this one. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It released last year on iPad, on Apple Arcade, and I already talked about it in last year's video, but it released this year on Switch. And so many more people have access to it, and now it's a little bit more in the mainstream, I would say, even though Butters was trying to tell y'all about Hello Kitty Island Adventure all this time. This already came out, so I won't talk too much about it, but it's just fire. It's fire. I think it's worth the money at the regular price. Deluxe, debatable. incredible. I think it's worth the money. I think it'll hook you. It's the first game in a long time I've been like every single day. Since the release, every single day. I kid you not, every day I played. And I just make a little time for it. I get my dailies in and then I'm off. And here's the main thing I'm excited about this year, because I didn't have this last year when I was playing. Co-op. The co-op is actually good. The co-op is not an afterthought. I feel like the multiplayer in Animal Crossing is the perfect example of something that's an afterthought. Like, oh, cool, I get to visit my friend's island and sit there. And I have to have special permissions to like touch anything. That's what I expected the multiplayer in Hello Kitty Island Adventure to be like. It's not. You have friendship progression with each friend. Each friend you have a unique friendship progression with. So I think there's like 20 or 20 plus levels of friendship where you get specific perks for hitting that level of friendship, like actual perks that are separate from any perks you can get without having friend progression. Perks, gameplay perks and buffs and stuff by doing certain quests together. And you can only do like 3 quests together each week, I think, which I think is too few. I think that's too few, but that's just me. At the same time, it's nice that it's paced out, because otherwise we'd be like every day like and then we'd be at max level 20 or whatever within 2 weeks, you know, and it's less fun. It's like progress along with the natural progression of the game as well. It's like kind of holding you back from doing too much. So that's cool. But then you can also like run around and collect things from your friend's island. You can go collect things. So you can go like fish together and collect resources, and it just feels more like you're doing something together. And you can do the friend quests together, which are like little races. You have to do little races sometimes. You have to like collect items together. You have to like take a selfie with someone. They're like silly little quests, but it's still so fun to do with someone. It's so fun to like just check off some lists. Yeah, y'all. So that's what I'm excited for this year specifically about Hello Kitty Island Adventure, is that the co-op is fun. It's an actual co-op. It's not just like multiplayer. Somebody sits on my island and we stare at each other like this. There's something you're actually doing, and I love that. Next, and this is not a cozy game. Okay, this is not a cozy game. Split fiction. I'm so excited for. I just finished my first playthrough of It Takes Two, like all the way through. I played a little bits of it here and there, but my all the way through playthrough of it, I recently finished at the end of the year or the beginning of this year, I think. On stream, I have it's all on my streams if you ever want to go watch. But I absolutely loved it. I loved how varied the gameplay was. I didn't love the narrative myself, but I loved the narrative, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't connect with the narrative by the end of it, but I loved the structure of the narrative. I liked the thoughtfulness behind the narrative. I loved how the narrative moved the game along. That was all so cool to me, and it feels like there's no other game like it in terms of like the varied gameplay and the different abilities and the different settings, and there's nothing really like it. It's so unique. And so when they announced the same studio is creating Split Fiction, I was so excited. I'm like, yes, I get to have another game like it. And I got to demo it at like a special preview event with EA. It's so fun, y'all. It's so fun. I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's the same mechanics you know and love. Like, it feels so familiar. It feels very similar to It Takes Two. Like, it feels like second nature. But it's a completely new game. Like, it's a completely new, unique game. It feels different. It feels fresh. It doesn't feel like they were like, okay, let's just copy paste. It feels fresh. And I think I like the narrative a lot more in this game. Like, I feel like I'm just more connected to it. There's 2 writers. Through means you'll find out they get stuck in their stories, in their story ideas, and so they're like living through all of their story ideas. So there's a sci-fi world with one girl, and there's a fantasy world with one girl. So there's like dragons and ogres and all of that stuff, and then over here there's like sci-fi, like hover cars and ships and all this. So you're like going through action-packed adventures in both of these things. But then there's also other stories that they've come up with that are like, I don't know, there's one of like pigs, and there's these side stories that are so fun and so unique, and the whole thing is just it's so cool. It's a little more challenging. I will say. But I love the idea of a game like this bringing together like the cozy gamer in the house and then like the shooty shoot pew pew gamer. I feel like It Takes Two brought those two together a lot. I saw that always where it's like, my boyfriend and I played this game and we had so much fun together. I feel like this is another one that'll bring those two together. So fun. Next is Tiny Bookshop, which is a game where you're running a little tiny bookshop. Little like portable tiny bookshop. That's it. That's kind of all I know about about it. I'm really excited about it because, again, cozy, unique premise. I'm locked in. I feel like Sticky Business, Wander Stop, what was it, like Capybara Spa, Bun House, Tiny Bookshop. Like those are all examples of like cozy and unique premises that I'm locked in. I'm with you. I'm there on day one buy, because you just got the cozy gamer so well. You got the essence of cozy gaming so well that I trust with all my heart. So that's Tiny Bookshop. Another one like that, camper van, make it home. You are decorating a camper van. It's like just a kind of idle decorating, sandbox decorating, but you're decorating a camper van. Hell yeah. Tales of the Shire. I've already talked about how excited I am for this game. Tales of the Shire. I've gotten to play it. I have some videos up of me playing it. I am so excited for this. You're just dilly-dallying in the Shire. You're just dilly-dallying in the Shire. There's no combat. The fishing's fun. You're doing things for your mates in the Shire. You're cooking meals for people. You're doing a little bit of like farming, gardening, but the farming's not like farming sim farming. It's just kind of like house gardening, which is fun. There's quests and decorating. The decorating is like almost Sims level of decorating, where you get to customize like every little nook and cranny of your little hobbit hole. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited to get lost in the Shire. Take me away. It was delayed significantly. It was supposed to come out in March. Now it's coming out in like July, I think. So I don't mind, because there's so much coming out. There's so much coming out in like Q1, Q2. I'm like, fine. I can't handle something else. I need to play Split Fiction. Take your time, take your time. Another one I'm excited for is Good Coffee, Great Coffee. This was the other Diner Dash game I'm excited for that I was talking about before. Good Coffee, Great Coffee is by the same people that did Good Pizza, Great Pizza, which is such a good restaurant sim. It's like quirky, it's cheeky, but it's cozy. It's stressful because it's a Diner Dash. It's stressful in that way, but it's like cozy setting wise. The game, the art design, so cute. I love Good Pizza, Great Pizza. It's one of my favorite games to play on an airplane, to play on a flight. I love doing a little just pizza after pizza. But Good Coffee, Great Coffee, it's even cozier. Oh, I can't wait. Good Coffee, Great Coffee. It's everything we love about Good Pizza, Great Pizza, but made even cozier in a coffee shop setting. Yes. Another one I'm excited for is Cinnabunny, which actually just released February 19th. It's like a life sim where you're playing as a bunny running a bakery. It reminds me of Bun House, where you're playing as a bunny in a greenhouse and like growing your greenhouse, but you're in a bakery. And that's kind of all I know about it. It was a Kickstarter game, and I remember seeing so much about it, but all I know, cozy life sim, you're a bunny. Growing your materials, you're collecting mushrooms, you're bird watching, unlocking new recipes. Carrots are your currency, I think. I hope this is everything I imagine it is. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on next year's roundup if it makes it. Next is Winter Burrow, which is a like cozy woodland survival game. I remember seeing a little booth for it at PAX West, which is like a gaming convention, which you should go to if you're near Seattle, because I go every year and I love it. I love seeing y'all there. It's like such a nice little time to see y'all there. But a cozy survival game. I for one love a good survival game here and there. It depends. I love a survival game like Minecraft, where you're like, you can kind of set your own settings, go at your own pace, but you are still trying to like collect those materials on somewhat of a timeline. Yeah, it looks so cute. Explore, gather resources, craft tools, knit warm sweaters, bake pies, meet the locals. You return from the big city and find your childhood home in ruins. And your aunt's missing. So you have to like restore your broken down childhood burrow. And I guess find your aunt, solve the mystery of your missing aunt. So there's so much to it. And it's also a survival game. And it just looks so cute. The art style is adorable. The next one, I'm not sure for sure if it comes out in 2025, but it's out and about. It's like this camping, outdoorsy, cozy game where you're identifying plants and fungi, and then you're like cooking them too, and you're rebuilding your community after a storm. So there's like this sense of town building, community building, but then also like real life plant identification and fungi identification, which sounds kind of cool. Like it sounds like a cool way to learn about flora. Yeah, I don't know when it releases. It says to be announced, and it says like soon, but who knows? This could be in 2026. That is all for me. That's the end of my list. I am so excited. This is like, you don't understand. This is my favorite time to live in my comment section to hear what y'all think. I want to hear what your favorites of 2024 were. I want to hear what you're excited for 2025. Also, if a lot of you are like, I'm so excited for these games coming out in 2025, those are the games I focus on for my cozy demos. So Apart from that, oh, look at her. She's getting so antsy. Apart from that, I'm so excited to hear what y'all think. I love hearing differing opinions. If you're like, I hated that game, tell me. If you're like, what about this game? How'd you not include this? Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I forgot. And then other times I'm like, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Thought I did. I didn't. I want to hear. Yap about it in the comments. I hope you had a lovely 2024, and I can't wait for another year of cozy gaming. I feel like each year I'm more and more excited about the state of cozy gaming. Like, I feel so excited about it this year. I was excited about last year, but I feel so excited, and I feel like so much more is going to come from all of our excitement and momentum around cozy gaming. Like, there's already been so many releases that are like, yes, we've been waiting for things like this, and I can't wait to hear about more coming out in the years to follow. So I'm excited. Thank you for coming along this journey with me in general for all these years. I love you so much. Stay cozy. I'll see ya when we chat some more about cozy games. Bye.